what we do over the course of the year is to introduce you to various different types of electronic performance, so that eventually when you want to join one of the main performances, which hopefully you all will, then you all can pick and choose which is the best for you. So today is a starter taster course. So we are just going to show you how to kind of play and select sounds using just some of these pieces of equipment here. Okay, so let's change the input. I should do that, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. So for EML, the main software we are using is Ableton Live. If you are used to any other digital audio workstation, that's fine too, but we will teach you with the parlance of Ableton Live. And when we do live performances, we do encourage using the software. Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend standing directly behind the door.
Yeah.
So please do move in a little bit.
Okay.
There's one chair here.
You can move to the front here and
There's a few chairs there as well. Yeah.
Okay, so this Microsoft Excel looking thing is called Ableton Live, for those of you who don't know. It's basically it's a music production and performance software, and it's the main medium by which we kind of produce and perform music. Okay, so right now I have a drum kit loaded. So in kind of traditional, I guess if you play in a band, a drum kit is just the set of drums at the back, right? But in the parlance of Ableton Live, a drum kit is a collection of various different types of drum sounds. So this is what I'm starting you off with. So if you look at the side here, I have all these different kits here. And today we're going to be just cycling through a few of them. So right now I have the 707 core kit loaded, as you can tell up there. So this is what it sounds like.
Louder.
Oh, louder. But I could pick a different timbre of drums. So 606. Okay, 505, which sounds like a 707 but a bit more lo-fi. And then the very famous 808. Have you all heard this number before? Yeah. 808. So 808 is, yeah, it's a very famous drum machine, so this is what it sounds like. And then we also have a 909, which is very well known in a lot of techno and trance and all that from the 90s.
But these numbers aren't just made up. Those are the names of actual like physical drum machines, all made by Roland.
Yeah.
Back in like the 80s, 90s.
In the 80s.
Yeah, 80s,
so
90s.
yeah, that's what these numbers came from. The most famous is 808. It came out as a device that's meant for guitarists to use to have a drummer, but it sounded terrible in terms of like, it does not sound anything like a real drum kit. But then hip hop producers decided, hey, it actually sounds pretty cool for our own purposes. So it's now, oh, sorry, that's a 909. But yeah, it's now the most famous drum machine. Oh, let's go Rockstar, right? Yeah. Right? Okay, yeah, so now it's one of the most famous drum machines of all time. So let's make a beat with this. Okay, what are the main three sounds that we usually associate?
Kick, drum,
Kick, snare, and hi-hat. Okay, so while of course there's different types of sounds as well, for the purposes of the initial demonstration, let's just start with the kick. Okay, so I'm gonna need a volunteer. Yes, we need a volunteer. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Woo! Woo! Can you tell the class your name?
My name is Joshua.
Right. Nice to meet you, Joshua. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to do something called step sequencing. Okay, so
4/4.
yeah, 4/4. Yeah, 4/4. Yeah, standard. For now, we just stick to 120 4/4. Okay, so what we have here is an Ableton push device. It might be a bit squeezy, but if you want, you can stand up and see, because so you can see the pads. If you all would like to come closer, yeah. Maybe future sessions we can move the tables around, but yeah. Okay, so if you all like to come up and see, if you notice here at the bottom of the grid, okay, come in. Yeah, there is this grid of 16, 4x4. It's a 16 grid.
Actually, just hold up Launchpad. It's very similar. Yeah.
Very fine. Yeah, so on the Ableton push, you would see a grid, something like this, a 4/4 grid, right? And each one corresponds to a single drum sound. So can you try pressing? Yeah. Ableton, you have to press a bit harder. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that's good. round of applause. You can experiment with this before speech now.
No, I never explained with the actual thing.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I always do not.
Okay, yeah, like laptop, right? They don't need that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I used to just like.
Okay, clicking. So yeah, all these little devices here, because technically everything we are doing here today can be just done on a laptop, which is why this is a pretty accessible CC in that regard. Whatever laptop you use for your school, you can just use for this CC as well. That is your instrument. But all these additional interfaces help you perform a little bit better because they give you a tactile interface. Okay, so what I've been doing so far is live finger drumming, right? But there's other modes of note entry that we can use for beat making. And this Ableton push helps to facilitate that. So let me select this kick drum first. And then this is where I think y'all might benefit from like coming closer and seeing if y'all can just take turns coming around. Okay, I have the kick drum selected. But what I can do is I can start putting in steps. Right?
No, the projector's very broken. The visualizer is very broken.
Yeah, it's a, okay. Oops, that was
That's not supposed to happen.
There's gonna be a lot of that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me.
Can't really see.
Okay, it's a bit loud. Oops. Sounds loud and scary. Okay, let's lower the volume. Okay, so if y'all can take a look here, and if you looked at the screen there, I entered steps there. So this has let me enter steps. So I can put in these kick drums in this sequence. Okay, so it's now running through in a loop, and then I can edit the loop by adding more steps, like that. So I have these kick drums. And of course, a drum beat will not just comprise a kick drum, right? So let's go to the hi-hats. Okay, the hi-hat layer, I'm just going to enter in steps. So now I add a little bit of these hi-hats. Okay, so basically you can enter steps in this grid here, and they'll populate on the screen there, in this clip here, and you can add more and more elements to the clip. So I want you to select the snare drum. So this is the snare drum. So now I start entering in steps. Okay, so you'll see the steps being populated there. These layers. We started with the most basic kick drum layer, and then we started adding hi-hats, snares, then all the other auxiliary percussions. So yeah, round of applause. Anyone else like to try? So today is all about hands-on and all that, so it's just to get a feel of all this equipment. Yep. Thank you. Sorry? What happened?
No, that's fine.
Alright, so, yeah, can you tell the class your name?
Hi guys, my name is Niles.
Oh, nice to meet you, Niles.
Currently I'm using Ableton to produce some music, though I mainly just use my laptop to like manually key.
Okay, manual,
yeah,
right?
and like, I have a MIDI keyboard, though I don't use it often.
Yeah, sorry?
The kind of music I do is more like rock guitar based.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
I saw the guitarists are there. Okay, so that's fine. But yeah, today I just want to give you a little bit of a feel of the step sequencer. So before we continue, do you like this kick drum, or do you want to change it to something else?
I like the kick, though I think I would like to change to like a harder snare.
Harder snare? Okay. Alright, so I won't go into detail of how to change the snare yet because that might take a while. But what we can do is we can try to select one of the other kits here. Okay. So actually you can select the kit on the device here itself, but I just want to show the class so you can click. Okay, so let's these aren't necessarily the most useful names, but let's just pick animals kit. Whoa, okay. The hardstyle people. What on earth is that? Okay, now let's try to find something else. So some of it is trial and error until this is very light. Oh, okay, let's just pick brand new beats kit. Or do you have any? I think for the purpose of demonstration, let's get this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the way with the kind of 4x4 grid at the bottom, you can play the individual sounds. So for those of y'all watching from there, y'all can also see the sound changing with each button that I press. So this is because the way this works is basically in each of the slots there is a sound file that is representative of this whatever drum sound that you're playing. So this is basically just a very elaborate MP3 player or soundboard player. So in like Discord or Twitch, you spam the air horns and all that. This is basically the same thing. It's just it's put into this grid and then you can sequence them. So let's start sequencing a beat. So we have this kick drum. Let's start with the kick drum. So you see all this space here at the top. Okay, that's where you would enter in the notes. So you select the sound you want to sequence first, then you start pressing in notes. Okay, so I would say just start with this. Okay, so starter. Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot. Yeah, so that's the first step. So you can start populating the grid with more kick drums. So like that. Okay, something like that. Then on here I will. Okay. So it's about 2 bars worth. So you can actually start putting stuff in the bottom as well. If not, it will only be at the start. You have to press a bit hard. Yeah. Like that, something. Okay. So now all these kicks are happening in isolation. So you might want to add in some other sounds. So try to select another. So start putting in. Okay. Try to put multiple at once because that's like kind of spam. You can just control it. You can do this. You can just. I mean, that's 2 people in the room, and over the course of the semester, we'll show you all on how to do this on your own laptops. For today, kind of because to whet your appetite, we are using this fancy controller here, but everything you're doing here, you can just do with a mouse and keyboard as well. There's nothing stopping you from that. You don't need any expensive gear. Okay, yeah. So yeah, next step, we have a nice beat. Let's keep this beat. Maybe the hey, let's remove it for now. Man, sorry. Where is it actually playing?
I think it's in the arrangement view. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, the track 3.
Track 3. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So we have this beat. Okay. So what is the next step that we need? We have a nice beat. So now we'll use your beat as the basis. So melody, right?
Melody.
So okay, melody or basically tonal elements, right? Things that play notes. Drums generally don't play notes in the same way that we understand melodic notes. So let's start to add some melodic elements. So what kinds of melodic instruments are there? There are, at the bottom you have bass,
ups,
arpeggios,
Lap.
okay, so for lead sounds, so like the top melodies. So all of these are different parts that we can layer on top of these beats, and then we progressively build up patterns in this way. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a new device, and then let's find some sounds. Okay, just for the sake of like convenience, I'm going to pick just a pretty simple piano sound. Not sure, it wouldn't show up there, but yeah. Okay. There's a piano called Dan Piano. Not sure who Dan is, but yeah, pretty sure it's good at playing piano. Right. Loading, loading, loading. Okay. It's more of an electric piano sound, but yeah, you get the idea. Okay, so now we have a melodic sound. Okay, so what I've been doing so far is I've been playing this on the grid. But for piano sounds, right, it might actually do better if we have this. Do you have the cable for this, actually? Yeah.
Micro USB, I don't think we brought it.
Okay, then never mind. Sorry. We will work with. Yeah.
Micro.
Oh, wait, looks like I deleted the.
Yeah, there's a C in front.
Try not to block the door.
Yeah, but yeah, try not to crowd around the door. Yeah. Yeah.
I know.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so we have this top line lead melody thing now that we can start to use to add some melodic elements to the beat that we have. So I'm going to play the beat here. And on top of this beat, I can start playing stuff. Elements on top of this, and just like the beat there, I can also play it on top and then record stuff in. So just now with the beat, what we were doing was step sequencing. So we were just kind of entering the steps and then having all the beats populate there. So what I'm going to do now is instead I'm going to live record in a part here, and then I'll play in some melodies. So I'll just keep it simple. I'm not actually very good at playing melodies on grids, but yeah, let's just try that. I have entered in these notes here. I'm just going to edit it a little bit so it starts on time. Yeah, so now when I play these two together, so this is whatever I just played. Then I can play on top of what I played. This is where we can add even more instruments. So I'm going to add a track here, then add a MIDI track, then let's add a bass line, okay, because this is a top lead sound, and then we'll add a bass. And then for this bass sound, I'll need a volunteer as well, okay? Yeah. Okay, let's pick a 101 essential bass. Let's go. It's a bit soft, so let's turn it up a little bit. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to basically add this to the loop. Okay, yeah. So let's just give me a bit of count. Okay, so now I've added this bass line here that has the notes like kind of residing under what I just played. Okay, yeah. So basically, I can just keep adding more and more layers and then building up a more complex pattern. So I'm just gonna delete this bass line again, and then I'd like someone to come up and try recording something. Yeah, anyone? Okay, I'll guide you. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay. So actually, if you all take a look at this controller, I'm a bit careful of lifting it up and down, but if you all see here, there's actually colored grids, right?
You're going to a bit higher.
Yeah, a bit higher. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit precarious. Yeah, because of the power. Okay, so if you all can see here. And then I think most of you all in this room have like a bit of musical training. The root key is always the one that is highlighted in the color. Okay. So this is how have been playing the notes so far on this grid interface for tonal melodic instruments. Okay, and you can actually change the scale also later on. Okay, so let's. Yeah, sorry, the flashes a bit scary. Okay, what's your name?
Hello guys, my name is Beam, like laser beam. Pew pew pew.
Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you. Okay, so I'm going to basically just I'm going to press this, and then you can start playing in whatever you want on here. Just get the notes in. Theoretically, nothing you play today will be out of key because this thing locks everything to the key.
Wow, do you trust me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Okay, so this is one thing that we want to come back. Like, this is a space where you can make mistakes and kind of just experiment. Not everything has to be perfect right off the bat, right? Okay, so yeah. Okay.
We're electronic music lab for a reason.
Yeah, it's a lab. You experiment
no
here.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Mess around the sound, crush it, do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah, it is a bit. Yeah, it's not. Some requires a bit of like force. Okay, so just remember to press it a little bit. Yeah, maybe later you can try other controllers. Okay, I'm going to start the loop, and then you can start to mess around with it. Okay, so let me just play this. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to start recording. Yeah, so this is all about experimentation and just trying out. So thank you for having the courage to come up. Okay, that was wonderful. Alright. Okay, so now you can see the notes that Beam put in. So if you look at here, this is the MIDI data of everything that Beam was entering. So I'm going to and okay, so that's kind of me playing it in isolation, and then of course in conjunction with everything else. Then this is what it sounds like. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so what happens if you are playing something and then you notice that maybe I made a bit of a mistake? I played a note that was off of what I wanted to play. So Beam, just now you were playing, and then if you notice, you pressed like this kind of there were these notes here, right, where there were like multiple at the same time, right?
I just misclick.
Yeah, misclick, right? So that's fine actually, because in Ableton Live you can actually go back into here, and then whatever you just played, you can just select this and delete it, so you can fix mistakes like in that sense. Okay, yeah. Those of you who are familiar with digital audio workstations, this should be no news to you, but yeah, for those who have never used this before, this is a good feature of jamming. Okay, so all these other notes here, you can fix it up and like clean it up as well.